Good morning, it's Allison again. I just find that when I'm on my walks I can do this better, I think, than if I'm just sitting at home, but I do some from home. Today, actually, a friend of mine in a group that I'm part of, posted something about being selfish, quote unquote, and taking time for herself and for introspection, and that hit me as a good topic for self-care. Self-care, as I've been mentioning, is extremely important, and sometimes the best self-care is being selfish. As I've said, you've got to take time for you, because if you don't, you're not going to be the best person for everybody else, because you have to be the best person for you. And one of the things I thought about was introspection. Spending time looking within yourself, figuring out who you are, what you want, what your desires are. And it goes along with what I mentioned the other day about finding your passion. But this isn't just about passion. This is learning how to be comfortable with who you are as a person and not being who you are for somebody else. Who are you for you? What is important to you? What are your personal desires? What are your personal interests? Where does it fit in the scheme of things? Are there people in your life who are pulling you in different directions? And those directions are not the directions that you feel you want to be in. Do you stay with those people? Do you move them out of your life? Do you talk to them? All of these things are very important. And taking time to sit down with yourself, it's not going to be a one-shot deal. It's going to take time. It's going to take months. It's something that you can start now and continue. And that goes along with my earlier video about journaling. Because journaling can be a form of meditation and a form of your introspection and seeing what's within. And the best way to do that is to step away from things for a little while if you can. You're a caregiver, so you might not be able to step away from everything. But if there are groups of friends or groups of people or even family members that you feel are pulling you in too many different directions, step back and say, you know what, I need a little time for me and to figure out what my wants and desires are, because everything I'm doing is based on your wants and desires. And that's really important. You have to figure out a balance. And I personally don't see introspection or any form of self-care as being selfish. But there are people who feel that way because we are trained from an early time to be the caregivers, to be unselfish, and not to take care of you. We've been trained that we are there for other people, not necessarily for ourselves. So take time, be selfish, take time for you. And to me, that's not really selfishness. That's helping you be a better person in general. Once you know your desires, your interests, if there are people in your life pulling you in the wrong directions and you can figure that out, you can step back and say to them, you know what? This isn't where I want to be in my life. This is not how I want to live my life. I want to live a life of passion. I want to live my dream. I want to live for me, and the first person that matters to me is me. I'm going to make decisions based on this, based on what I have learned about myself, based on what I have discovered. And I'm going to tell you, none of this happens overnight, and it's a continual process. You come up with it, you figure out where you want to be, but the process is going to be sticking with it. So take time, do some introspection, and a few other videos I'll start asking questions and giving you things to think about, and giving some assignments. But right now, it's just a matter of learning who you are, what your wants and desires are, what it takes for you to be selfish with you, your time, and your desires. If something doesn't fit with them, eliminate it from your life or separate it from what you're doing on a daily basis. And maybe be with the people or that item or that thing on a once in a while basis. But you are most important. That's the biggest thing and self-care is introspection, remembering you are important, what you desire is important, and the desires of other people, if they don't fit with your introspection of who you are as a person, either let go or separate yourself from them. Don't give as much energy to them. I'm actually going to discuss energy in another video. So, because energy exchange is huge with self-care. So I'll discuss that a little bit later. But go for it. Take time to figure out who you are and what is not working in your relationships with yourself, with others, and learn how to take self-care. Self-care is very, very important. Learn how to be selfish. And I'll leave you with that.